Hello everyone, I'm here again with another video regarding that how you can simply calculate how many licenses you need in future if you like to prepare yourself for migrating like VMware Cloud Foundation package or VMware vSphere Foundation. And also if you have vCenter in your environment, how you can calculate how many licenses you need in there. There is an really fantastic article and KB we have from William regarding that licensing calculator for VCF and VVF. And I like to go through and simply do like the stuff what William here mentioned about that and see the result of the export, I would say, from those commands. First of all, there is an I would say some instruction, some examples, and in the KB, there is two files you need to download. One is that sample input, and the other one is PowerShell script called that VCF VVF calculator. When you download that sample input, you need to change some items, some names in there, which is that William already mentioned there, like cluster name, number of hosts, number of CPU socket, number of CPU core per socket. If you have that cluster which is already vSAN enabled, you can say yes or no, and simply how many row vSAN TB byte is there, you know, and I will explain in next few videos about that TB byte and how you can calculate that. What's that measuring of TB byte, you know? And when you download those file, you can see, let me open that files for you here. I have, for example, that sample input. It's like that. It means I can do like that data, for example, with the other syntax. Let me do like that for you. Yes, load. It will be load like that, you know. It will be like cluster name. That's an pre-wrote or pre-configured already. You need to change it. It means that cluster name, number of hosts. It means how many ESXi hosts you have in your cluster. Each physical box has how many CPU. It means CPU socket. How many core per CPU socket you have. Is that environment, is that cluster is already vSAN enabled or not? And how many space that vSAN has in TB byte. So I already changed the stuff there and rename it to sample input one. If I open it correctly, yeah, you can see. Now I like to run that commands with demo cluster name. I have 4 ESXi hosts there, and each ESXi host has 2 sockets of CPU, and each has 10 core per socket. Is that vSAN enabled? No. Total row 0. That's it. And I like to run that commands from my jump host. I already do some tests there, but I will open or simply close that. Let me close that PowerShell and start with PowerShell again. I like to do it like that, run it as administrator. And I like to connect to my vCenter. It means I need that my vCenter FQDN name or IP address and say simply connect minus VI server and then paste my IP address of my vCenter or FQDN of it. and I have to wait for uh, actually navigating to the new standard box for proving my credentials like username and password. Just a little bit, maybe take time. And I don't want to edit that video, I do it like without any edit or, yep, it's there without any edit, not too long. I like to log into my vCenter with administrator at vsphere.local, and I'm there. And I try to navigate the path of Windows System 32 to, for example, the place which I have that files. I already put that files in drive C and the folder named sources. And as you can see that VCF VVF calculator.ps1 is here. Okay, I do like that, cd sources and simply directory. I can see my file is here. Okay, in the KB mentioned instruction for using VCF VVF calculator. Dot source the function like that. But for that, I need to do like import that module, and I call that VCF VVF calculator. After that, if I like to have, for example, that configuration for VVF or configuration for VCF, just simply you need to copy that line, and don't forget that replace that CSV file name if you have, or rename that CSV file, I don't know, to another name. And I like to have that VVF, but there is some misunderstanding here why in the deployment type we have on a both side VCF. It's something that's a wrong syntax, I would say, from that VMware. And I already contacted with William, and I'm waiting for his reply, but that's a wrong syntax there. If you like to have that VVF calculation in the end, you have to replace that VCF here with VVF. I start with that, and I will totally show you how it works. I say copy, paste. As you remember, I rename my sample input file to sample input 1. I can show you here if I have it here. Yep, sample input 1. And I like to have, oh, I like to have that for VVF in the end, not that VCF. And hit enter. Ta-da! That the cluster name demo cluster has 4 E6i hosts there, and each E6i host has 2 sockets of CPU, and each socket of CPU has 10 core. And the foundation license core count stands for 128. It means that total required VVF compute license is 128. Okay, and if I like to have like VCF, you know, and I never tried that before. I like to do it now and see what happened there. I hit enter, and the query is like that. But simply I can change something, which is we can see, for example, like if that vSAN is there, how the result shown be. I put enter. You can see here, for example, we have more than one cluster, with a different amount of socket of CPU, different amount of core, and also here that vSAN is enabled, and there is a capacity of each cluster, and that's a result of the commands you need to act for ordering, for example, for your vCloud foundation, for cloud foundation, like that, you know. I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you like that video, simply hit the like button. If you don't subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on ring bells for notify you the new videos. Thank you so much. Stay tuned and stay with me.